We are live. It is showtime. Good morning, everyone. Hello, Madonna. Hello, Denise. So nice to see you guys here. All right. So we actually have some questions for Ask a Clutter Boss today. And this is Ask a Clutter Boss, the internet's best weekly decluttering advice show. All right. So let's dive right into these questions. What are some effective motivation techniques? I giggle because that's if I knew the answer to an effective motivation technique that worked every single time. Actually, I do have one thing that works every single time, but nobody likes this answer. If I knew an answer that everyone liked that worked every time, it would be so fantastic. Good morning, Mitzi. But let me just say, when it comes to motivation, and we have podcasts on this and all of that, when it comes to motivation, the key is actually never to rely on motivation because motivation is super fickle. It comes and it goes, and it really enjoys going on vacation. In fact, a lot of times my motivation is on vacation. I'm pretty sure it's in the Bahamas at a nice pool, having a great drink, probably with your motivation also. The only way to reliably bring back motivation is to take action. The two words that I am saying over and over and over again today and this year: take action. If you want motivation, if you want to feel motivation, you have to actually bring it forth. Sometimes randomly we are motivated. All the other times we have to bring forth motivation by taking action. There is nothing as motivating when it comes to decluttering as taking action on a small space and feeling how good that feels, and then feeling motivated to do another space. Take action, my friends. Take action. In fact, just in the comments, can you just say, I am going to take action? Because I think really getting into the mindset of taking action is motivating. I also really, when it comes to, and the question is effective motivation techniques, there's so many different ways that you can motivate yourself, but knowing which one is going to work at this point in time is the big question mark. A lot of times I am motivated by strict deadlines. I am a procrastinator by nature. I love being a procrastinator because I get so much done before something happens. So I have to create those deadlines for myself. Call up a friend. Hey, you want to come over on Friday? We'll have some pizza, just relax, whatever. Now I have friends coming over on Friday. I better GSD, if you know what that means. Get stuff done. Get stuff done. So create those deadlines for yourself. Sometimes folks are motivated by external accountability. Tell somebody who's going to hold you to it what you're going to do. So tell somebody who you live with, a friend, a family member, I need to get this done. Check in on me and find out if I'm doing what I said I was going to do. External motivation, external accountability, really powerful. Personally, internal accountability for me, I'm very good at telling myself I'm going to do something and then not doing it. So I do not rely on that ever, never. But taking action is absolutely the key. Yes, I am going to take action. I'm going to take action. The solution to our decluttering is taking action. That is it. I mean, there's mindset shifts, there's support for sure, but it starts with taking action, and that brings motivation back. That's the most reliable way to bring motivation back, is to take action. And the more you think about taking action without taking action, the more that becomes a habit. So the sooner that you can switch that, and when you're thinking about taking action and feeling like you're not going to, just do the opposite. Get up and take action. That's it. At the end of the day, this is about you doing this for you. You have the power to make the change. You have the power to do this for yourself, but you have to do it. And that lesson took me so many years to learn. I was so resentful for so many different reasons for so long. And then I just started taking action for me, because it's the environment that I live in. Other people live here too, yes, but I wanted it to be right for me because then I can show up better for everyone else. And that's what moves the needle for you. Okay, we have a couple more questions here. I'm just looking at my other screen. I know it's so awkward when I'm turning my head, but I have a multi-screen situation going on. So, how do you manage to clean up when family is pulling you everywhere and you can't get it done? This is a great question, but here's the deal. We all have family obligations. We all have outside obligations. On a Monday Morning Motivation recently, I talked about looking at your time and doing an audit because we all also have, I think it's 168, just do the calculation here, 168 hours in a week. And even if you subtract sleeping, working, family obligations, there is some time left over in most cases. So when your family is pulling you everywhere, but you have a goal that is important to you, you need to be really, you have to set some boundaries. And the thing with setting boundaries is this is not forever. This is not forever. You want to get through this decluttering process. And if you want to get it done, you have to take the action. You have to say, hey, I can't do this week. We can't do these extracurriculars this week. We can't, we have to just take a break so that I can get some stuff done. You have to have that communication with your family. If you say that this is important and you're not working on it, it's actually not important. It might feel like it's on the top of the to-do list, but if the to-do list is doing all these other things, then this isn't actually something that's important right now. Make it important by actually working on it. Put your money where your mouth is. If this is important, take the action and get it done. And tell other people, I'm sorry, I am not available right now. Not that I'm not available for forever. I'm not available for this week, next week. I have a really important deadline that I'm working on. I have to get my house decluttered. And don't tell them what it is. I mean, but you have to do it. You have to do it. You have to take all of those things that are pulling your time. If there is anything that can come off of that list, take it off of that list and work on the things that are important to you. In my own personal life and as a coach, I hear a lot of excuses a lot of the time. I know because I have been the person with the excuses. And then I can identify an excuse from a mile away because I'm so intimately familiar with excuses. What if you just change that for a week? What if you hold yourself to the highest standard and every time you hear yourself telling an excuse to yourself, you call yourself out on it and you're like, nope, not today, not right now. We're not doing this right now because I have a goal and I am going to get this done. I'm going to get this done. And I agree, you should not have to explain anything to anyone. If you are not available, you are not available. And that is your own business. Absolutely. All right. So if this is a high priority for you, it needs to be a high priority in your schedule also. And that doesn't mean you have to spend hours every single day, but you have to spend some amount of time every single day working on this. The more consistent the action, the more quickly the wins pile up. So consistency is more important than total amount of time because consistency equals more time over the long run. That makes sense? Okay. Mary, why can't I keep my countertops clean and tidy and usable? So Mary, have you considered joining Clutter Boss Blueprint? That is exactly what we teach in there. If you want your countertops to be clean and tidy and usable, every single day you have to clean and tidy them to make them usable. We have this idea in our society that we do things once and it should stay. That is so not realistic. In our house, we have stuff coming and going all the time. There's people, there's animals, there's stuff coming in the door, going out the door nonstop. We're all very busy. We all have a lot of stuff to support a lot of activities. And if we want to stay on top of our homes, we have to build habits to actually stay on top of it every single day. That's just the cold hard truth. Um, and that's what we talk about here. Cold hard truth. Okay, last question. I love this. Okay, it's a little piece of advice and a question. So, number 1, as a nurse, we learn that our mind's eye views anything on the floor as a fall, risk, or danger. So when I started my decluttering journey, I applied that mindset. So nurses, doctors, medical staff, anything on the floor is a tripping hazard or a danger. So if you apply that to your house, that can be a way to help you identify what needs to go, what needs to find a home. We want to have clear floor space. Floor space is not storage space, and it's a safety situation. I mean, it's also good for your mental health to have clear floor space, but it's really good for your physical well being as well to have clear floor space. Whenever I'm overwhelmed and I can't decide where to start, I start with the floor. Clearing all of those fall risks settles my mind and makes it easier to move forward. So, following that logic, where would you recommend to move to after floors when decluttering? Floors first, and then question mark, flat surfaces. And as a follow up, do you have a different recommendation on where to start in a space when you're feeling overwhelmed or you just don't know where to start? So, there's no actual right spot to start. Take action and get started. That being said, we never want to start with anything that is emotional. So we always start with the easy things first. I also think it can be very beneficial to start with large items. If you have a big piece of furniture or linens that take up a lot of space, anything that takes up a large amount of space that you can remove from your house, a treadmill that you have not used in 10 years and are not realistically going to use. It's just been storing your clothing for a long time. Get the big stuff out of the way. When you clear up those big chunks of space, you have more space for sorting and decluttering. You have a safer environment. Start with big, start with emotionally easy. I love the idea of starting with the floor, clearing floor space, and then going to flat surfaces. That makes sense. It also makes a lot of sense to work on the support areas of your house. And by that, I mean, what does your built in storage look like in your house? Your closets, your pantries, your cabinets. When you're decluttering and organizing, if you don't have access to the infrastructure in your home that is built and designed for storing items, it really becomes a giant game of Tetris and it can feel like you're not actually moving forward because you don't have a spot to put stuff away. And not having a spot to put stuff away is a huge issue. So it could make sense to clear out closets, to clear out cabinets, to clear out those areas, that infrastructure area that is designed to actually store your stuff in your house. And I know a lot of people don't like to start with the infrastructure areas because they're not what anyone sees, right? Nobody is opening up your closets to see what your closets look like. But from a functionality standpoint, if you're decluttering and you have no place to put the stuff that you're keeping, you're going to have so much temporary chaos for so long. It's going to be very demotivating. It's going to be hard to want to move forward. So I think that really can be a good spot is to work on those closet spaces first to free up space to put stuff away. If you can't put stuff away, it just feels bad and it holds back your progress. Does that make sense? All right. Ooh, Vicky, I've scheduled an entire upstairs carpet cleaning next week. Fantastic. Fantastic. That is a great deadline. That is an amazing deadline. So yes, I love that. Those are my recommendations for today. And I'll just end on this note. Go take action. Go take action. Take your excuses, get rid of them, declutter those first, and take any action because that is what moves the needle. That's why you're here, to have a result, to get to an end point, to hit your goal. So go do it. Go do it. You got this. Yes. Yeah, that's what's tripping me up. Lots of chaos and no end in sight. We need those storage areas open, available, and ready to accept stuff. All right. I love you guys. I believe in you. And I hope that you believe in you too. I can't wait to see what action you are taking this week. Have a great day, everyone.